Are you ready to take the first step to embrace the unknown and step out of your comfort zone? Welcome to Step Out, Step In, the podcast that inspires you to break free from your familiar to explore the extraordinary. Hello, this is your host, David Gill. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me as we dive headfirst into thrilling stories of personal growth, daring adventures, and transformative experiences. Get ready to be motivated, inspired, and empowered to live your life to the fullest. So mark your calendar, set your alarm, and get ready to step out, step in with me every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Subscribe now, and let's step into the unknown together. This is Step Out, Step In. The journey begins here. Step Out, Step In podcast, live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from or where you might be watching the replay from. I want to welcome you to episode 67 of my Step Out Step In podcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, where we dive into topics that resonate with us all. And uh, tonight, Step In is the podcast that helps you navigate life, make the most of your time. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn, comment, share, and let's do this together. And again, I'm your host, David Joe, and in today's episode 67, we are diving deep into a powerful topic, the leader within you. The leader within you. Last week I said this month we're going to focus on leadership in our organization. The month of July is dedicated for leadership. And ISI, Iron Sharpens Iron Conference is held in July as well. And I want to take this opportunity to invite you, um, make all necessary arrangements to be there. At the end of it, I'll share some of the information with you. So stay tuned. Don't leave. you know, and as we explore how each of us can unlock our inner leader, guided by wisdom from the scriptures. As a person of faith, I want to use the scriptures as the yardstick, let me put it that way, and inspired by examples of transformational leaders throughout history. One thing about leadership, it is not a title and it is not positions. Leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. And leadership is character. It is the ability to inspire others. We all, everybody have that potential to be a leader in your own way, in our lives, in our communities. Everyone has a measure of leadership on the inside of you. And tonight, I would like us to refer to a few biblical examples. We'll look at some scriptures, and as one of the scriptures in Matthew chapter 5. In Matthew chapter 5, and from verse 14 to 16, from the New King James Version, it says that you are the light of the world. It says you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand. And it gives light to all who are in the house. The verse 16 says that let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. This passage calls us to shine our light, to be leaders who illuminate the path, we throw light on the path for others to follow. And let's start by looking at some examples of transformational leaders who have embodied these principles. And one of such I want to talk about tonight is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, his journey from prison to becoming the president of South Africa is a testament to the power of forgiveness, to the power of resilience and vision. He once said that it always seems impossible until it is done. His leadership transformed the nation and it inspired the world. And that is Nelson Mandela, somebody who was in prison for 27 years. And when he got out of prison, he got out with forgiveness. There was nothing like retribution or anything like that. Let's look at another example, Madame Teresa. Mother Teresa, did I say Madame? No, it's Mother Teresa. Her selfless service to the poorest to the poor in Calcutta in India demonstrated that leadership is not about power, but about serving others. Her decision to her mission earned her the Nobel Prize in 1979, and she lived it all out. Jesus says something in Matthew 20 and 26. He said that whoever wants to become great amongst you must be your servant. He, the second of the Trinity, came down on earth, and he did not come to be served, but he came to serve. And the greatest amongst everyone is the one who serves. Leadership is about serving. It's not about being lord over others, or throwing your weight about or anything. It is about service. But you might be wondering how can you and I cultivate the leader within yourself? How can you cultivate the leader within yourself? And I'm glad you asked that question. And tonight, we're talking about the leader within you. The leader within you. The leader within you. So let's look at a few steps and how you and I can cultivate that leader within yourself. And here are some practical steps I want us to look at. Number one is self-awareness and reflection. Self-awareness and reflection. And as I said earlier, we'll be diving into some scriptures just to help us. And as a person of faith, I like to refer to scriptures as well. In Psalm 139, and the verses 23 and 24, David prays this prayer, and he says, "Search me, God, and know my heart." Say, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." You know, as leaders, as transformational, effective leaders, self-awareness is the first step towards effective leadership. You have to be aware of what is within your heart. That is why David went. In fact, he was one of the greatest leaders in Israel, one of the greatest kings. He went to God and said, "Search my heart and know what is in my heart. Test me and know and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me." How many of us as leaders do ask these questions? These transformational questions in order to be effective leaders. So, the first step is self-awareness and reflection. And that is exactly what King David did. Number two is have a vision and purpose. You know, I always say that every one of us was created on purpose, for a purpose, and with a purpose. God created you. You are not a mistake. You were never a mistake, and you will never be a mistake. There's a reason and a purpose to which God created you, and that is why you are still here. And have you asked yourself this question, that why am I still here? And I believe that this is one of the most intriguing questions that when people ask, sometimes they don't have the answers right away. But every now and then, ask yourself, why am I here? And as a transformational leader, you have to have a vision. You have to have a purpose. And you have to walk in that purpose to which God brought you here. You know, great leaders have a clear vision and they have a sense of purpose. In Proverbs chapter 29, and verse 18, it says that where there is no vision, people cast off restraint. Other versions says that where there's no vision, the people perish. Where there's no vision, where there's no revelation, the people cast off restraints. But happy is he who keeps the law. So you have to have a vision, you have to know your purpose and walk in your purpose on a daily basis. You know, I often say that sometimes people don't really take the time to identify their purpose. So they tend to do what everybody else is doing. But the question is, were you created to do what others are doing? You know, you can always imitate people, but you cannot duplicate anyone. God made you unique. God made you special. You are one of a kind amongst the billions of people in this world. That is why you are so special. So have a vision and a purpose. Identify your purpose and walk in that purpose. Number 3 is empathy and compassion. Leadership is about connecting with others. You know, Jesus modeled this very well. And in John chapter 13 is one of my favorite scriptures. And from verse 34, he tells us that a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, that you also love one another. And he goes further to say that by this, all will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another. Empathy and compassion. Empathy and compassion builds trust and it strengthens relationship. And as transformational and effective leaders, we have to walk in this on a daily basis. You know, we get into a place in our lives or in this dispensation where empathy and compassion is gradually being eroded. But you and I can always make a difference by walking in it every day, by being an example of empathy and compassion every day as a leader. I said that every one of us has a measure of leadership on the inside of us. Number 4 is courage and resilience. You know, one thing that I've come to realize is leaders face challenges head on. Every leader has been through and has faced all kinds of challenges, defeats, failure, you name it, as well as victories. In Joshua chapter 1 and verse 9, you know, God says to Joshua, that have I not commanded you, be strong and of good courage, and do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you. That is a sure promise that God has given unto you and I, wherever you go. So don't ever think that you are walking alone. You are not alone. God is on this journey with you. You know, I do understand Joshua because he had seen what the children of Israel did to Moses. And I believe that he taking the baton from Moses, he was in a place of fear. I would have done the same thing, but God had to come in and encourage him. He had to come in and encourage him that, look, I am with you. Be strong and of good courage. You know, I believe that When Moses took on that assignment and went to Egypt to tell Pharaoh that God says, let my people go. If he had to do it all over again, I am sure that he would have gone back and said that, let some of the people go. He wouldn't have said that, let all the people go, but he would have said, let some of the people go. Courage and resilience are essential for overcoming obstacles and inspiring others. As a leader, yes, you go through challenges. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process. But be of good courage. Be strong. Don't cut and run. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up. And always remember that God is with you wherever you go. Number 5 is continuous learning and growth. You know, our bishop always tells us this, Dr. Franco Fosu-Appiah, that the greatest investment you can make for yourself is to invest in yourself. Effective leaders are always learning. Effective leaders are always learning. Proverbs 1:5 says that, let the wise listen and add, let a wise man hear. A wise man will hear and increase learning. A man of understanding will attain wise counsel. So in other words, let the wise listen and add to their learning. And let the discerning get guidance. You know, there's this quote. Just forgive me, but I was trying to. Was it General Colin Powell who said that the day you stop learning, that is the day you are dying. The day you stop learning, that is when you are dying. As effective and transformational leaders, continuous learning and growth is part of the journey. And one of the things that you have to do is commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. That is why every year Bishop puts together this ISI conference. In fact, let me say this. The amount of money charged for that conference is just, it's like he's giving it to us for free. I've seen conferences which is nowhere close to what he offers, and yet they charge in thousands. This is a conference where these are world-class speakers that are coming in. They are top leadership speakers coming in, and they've been in the religious sector, the secular sector. I mean, they combine everything, and they are filled with so much wisdom. And just as Proverbs 1:5 says that a wise man will hear and increase learning. So as transformational leaders commit to a lifelong learning and personal growth, you know. And as we do this, let's reflect on a few other biblical examples. Let's reflect on the story of Esther. Esther was a young Jewish woman who became the queen of Persia. When her people were threatened with genocide, Esther used her position to plead for their lives. And in Esther chapter 4 and verse 16, she made a statement. And that was a statement of boldness. You know, she was at a place where if the king hadn't given you the permission to come in, it doesn't matter who you are or who you were, you can lose your life. And Esther said, the king hasn't given me any permission, but I am still going to go to the king. It says, if I perish, I perish. That is being so courageous. Her courage and strategic thinking saved her people, and it also demonstrates that true leadership often requires great personal sacrifice. True leadership also requires great personal sacrifice. Another example that I want to touch on this evening is the example of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You know, he was a pastor. He didn't go to school to become a civil rights activist, but his leadership in the civil rights movements was fueled by his unwavering faith and commitment to justice. He famously said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Think about that. You know, when you listen to his speeches, like I Have a Dream, that I Have a Dream speech, it continues to inspire generations to fight for equality and justice. And, you know, Dr. King's leadership was deeply rooted in biblical principles. It was deeply rooted in biblical principles, such as Micah 3. I'm sorry, Micah 6. Micah 6 and verse 8. And let me read this. I'm not sure I have it on here. Just give me a moment. Let me go through this. Let's see if I have it. Okay, let's proceed. Micah 6:8, which says that he has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. To do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. To do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. You know, leadership gradually is being affected in a way. People are no longer looking out for others, but more about themselves. It is becoming more of me, myself, and I. But Dr. Martin Luther King had this scripture that the Lord has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? And I believe that if every leader can ask this question and be honest about answering this question, the world will be a better place. Now, lies is being changed to the, how do they even say it? Alternative truth. Lies is lies, truth is truth. You know, and it says, but do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. So you and I can apply these lessons in our daily lives. And the question again is, how do we apply these lessons in our daily lives? Let me run through this real quick as we wrap up. And here are a few actionable steps. Number one, start small. Leadership begins with acts of influence. I said from the beginning, it is not a title, it is not a position, but it is about influence. Yeah, so start small, volunteer in your community, offer mentor to someone, and take initiative in your workplace. Mentorship is something that you and I will have to also look at, it pouring into others. You know, we're so quick to criticize people, but are we making an effort to pick somebody and mentor that person in the right direction or in the right perspective? Number two is seek mentorship. Learn from those who have walked the path before you. One thing is, at any level which you are, somebody has always gone ahead of you. Somebody has done something that you have never done. Somebody knows more than you do. That is why we all need mentors. Seek mentorship. Learn from those who have walked the path before. Proverbs 27 and 17 reminds us that as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Surround yourself with wise and experienced leaders. Number three is lead by example. You know, leading by example is one of the challenging moments of every leader. It's easier to say it, but are you able to do what you say and lead by example? Your actions speaks louder than words. And you have to strive to be a role model in integrity, humility, and kindness. Strive to be that role model in integrity. What do you do when others are not watching or looking when you're alone? Humility, when you can go down and serve anyone and everyone, regardless of race, gender, age, whatever, name it. And kindness, being kind to everyone. You know, there's a saying that goes that be nice to the people on your way up, because they are the very same people you meet on your way down. Be kind to everyone you come across. You never know. You never know. You know, Philippians 2 and verse 3 and 4 advises us that do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Not looking to your own interests, the me, myself, and I moment, but each of you to the interest of others. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself. Not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. That is leadership. When you look out for the interest of other people, it's not always about me, myself, and I. It's not always about what is in there for me, but the interest of others. When you put the interest of others first, they'll also help you get your interest. Number 4 is stay grounded in your faith. Let your faith guide your decisions and actions. You know, prayer and meditation can provide clarity and strength. Psalm 24 and verse 4 and 5 says that, show me your way, Lord. Teach me your path. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Prayer and meditation can provide clarity and strength. God again said to Joshua that in Joshua 1:8, that this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night. Ponder over it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. You meditate on the word, you ponder over it, day and night, you observe to do what is written in the word, not being a hearer only, but a doer of the word. And that will provide clarity and strength for you as a leader. Watch the space. I'll be right back. All right, again, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 67 of my Step Out, Step In podcast live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please do so. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so anytime something is posted, you'll be notified. Share the link, comment, and let's do this together. Just before I wrap up, I also want to introduce my spiritual father, Dr. Franco Fosu, appear every Tuesday on Facebook and YouTube, live, the Ambassador of Hope. Join him every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live with the Ambassador of Hope on Facebook and YouTube. You can't afford to miss this. He has all the teachings out there. When you go on to his YouTube.
Hello, my friend. How are you today? I trust that your week is off to a good start. Listen, it's a...
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to show you the YouTube page right there. Every lesson is, he tells us that this is not another church. These teachings are amazing. If it's worth hearing, it is worth sharing. Let's go on there, do it. Last week, he taught us on Stand Your Ground. It is amazing. Please, I just want to and trust you. I just want to encourage you. Go on there, subscribe, share. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay.
Advanced Life presents Iron Sharpens Iron 2024, celebrating 20 years of leadership empowerment. This is the season to manifest leadership from July 17th to July 21st at All Nations Charis House, Atlanta. Conference speakers, Sam Chan, Dewey Smith, Mensa Otabil, and conference host Frank and Mary Ofosu-Appiah. As part of the conference celebration, there'll be a special night of worship and Thanksgiving at 5 p.m. at the Gas South Arena, featuring Nathaniel Bassey of Nigeria, Ntokozu Mbambu of South Africa, Sonny Badu from the USA, Charis Worship and other guest ministers. Gen Z meets with Brian Amoaton on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. This is an opportunity to connect, observe, and interact with other leaders. Register now on Advanced Life mobile app for updates and conference info. ISI 2024. Register now.
All right. Registration is still ongoing. It's not too late. Download the app, and everything is on there. You know, the clip says it all. Please, please, please the greatest investment you can make for yourself is to invest in yourself. You know, we read a scripture that tells us that the world is looking for transformational leaders, and I believe that God is setting you apart for you to be that one of a kind, that one transformational and effective leader to steer the world back in its right direction. So again, register, download the app, go to the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, download it, and you can have all the program outline, the tickets for the worship night and all that on there. To episode 67, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. As we wrap up today's episode, remember, the leadership is not about being in control, but about inspiring and empowering others. Let me say that again. Leadership is not about being in control, but inspiring and empowering others. We all have the potential to be leaders in our own unique ways. I said in the beginning that there's a measure of leadership on the inside of you, crying for expression. By embracing the leader within you, you can make a positive impact on your families, your communities, and the world. And again, thank you so much for joining me on this journey of discovering the leader within you. If you enjoy this episode, please subscribe and share with others who might find it helpful. In the next episode, God willing, next Monday, episode 68, we'll look at process for leadership. You know, leaders are born, leaders are made. Whichever way, you have to be processed to be that effective and transformational leader. So we'll take a look at that. So ladies and gentlemen, watch this space and let's stay connected. Until next time, this is your host, David Joe, and I am signing off. May your week be amazing. May your week be fruitful. May your week be productive. As you journey through this week, may the Lord hold your hand and make you that effective and transformational leader. May you identify the leader within you, that you can lead effectively and transform lives to the glory of God. Until then, I love you. Have a wonderful and amazing week. And again, don't forget, tomorrow, Tuesday at 6 p.m. with the Ambassador of Hope, live on YouTube and Facebook. Goodbye.